Hi everyone. I wanted to share with you all an update on our homestead. Um, for those of you that know me, my name is Norman. My family and I moved over to northern Maine last year. We've been coming up here for 6-7 years since we bought our property. We bought it just around when the pandemic started, and it was kind of hard to get anything done on this property. It was hard to get contractors, it was hard to get people. It was hard to do anything, but we kept moving along. So we wanted to share a little bit of an update of what we've done so far with the property. So here we go. So welcome to the property. Got a little guardian bears there, little Yogi and Boo Boo. Wants to protect us. So the property is about 22 acres or so. We do have some neighbors very far away. We've met the neighbors over here. They're great. Good people up here in northern Maine. We also have neighbors towards the back, but he's way in the woods. But anyway, so our driveway that we got put in last year, as I said, it was hard to get folks to come out and do any work because one, the pandemic, and two, they've been booked out for quite a few years. So it's you get them when you get them, and when you get them, you thank them for the work they do. So the driveway is about, I want to say about 800 feet. Our property extends way up that way into the woods. Got a lot of pine trees, obviously pine tree state. This is the part that we pretty much live at the most. We have our shipping containers where pretty much our whole life has been packed into, and I thank my wife Sandra, because as I was at work, she was organizing both. She's already named them. One is the garage, and one is our basement storage, which pretty much has all our things. We have the chicken palace, the coop on the left with the solar panels that came with us from where we moved, and the two other sheds plus the run. Actually, the run came with us, but the two sheds came. We purchased them in Easton, Maine from Amish. We do have our outdoor kitchen. It's 12 by 28, which is nice. We have to cook outside. This lovely mound that I'm standing on. I don't know if you can tell, but it kind of divides this side with this side. I'm actually standing on the leach field of the property. And it goes all the way up to the top. Up there where the daisies or wild daisies, our septic is right around there. We do have a connection for water for our RV. We do have a temporary connection to our outdoor kitchen, which eventually is going to be all plumbed in underground and whatnot. We have our well. The well's pretty neat. For the time being, we don't have city power. I don't think we are going to. It is pricey just to run power from the road, which is not that far away, to here, just around the poles and the cords. It's pretty much $30,000. I think we could use that money in a better way. Get a solar system, which eventually that's what we're going to do, about a year or so. But before I get up there, just getting a little ahead of myself, I'll show you our basement, or sorry, our garage. And as I said, My wife has done all the work to organize this. All my tools, all the gardening equipment, power wash, all the stuff that we brought with us, my tools, and all that wonderful stuff. We do have a solar setup right now that keeps all our batteries charged in here, which is great. And again, thank you for doing this, honey. Appreciate it. Some of the posters, my bike that went out only once. And if you see any deer, please remind them that the corn pile was intended for squirrels, chipmunks, or other such critters. And any deer found in this farm will probably be shot. Just make sure you let them know. It's a joke, by the way. Dad jokes. And this is the one that we had dubbed the basement. It does have a lot of our clothes, a lot of the items for our garden. We did plant a small garden this year. The time wasn't there for us to do everything, but we do have a lot of our items here stored. What's not here, it's in the RV, which is pretty much our secondary home. Well, our primary home. And while we were waiting, so a little solar setup, but while we were waiting for the septic to be done, we did set up a outhouse, and I left the keys up there so I can't show you, but this outhouse is pretty modern. It does have solar lighting inside or not, has other little gadgets, and again, they'll never see this, but these are the folks that took care of us. They have been very welcoming, very good to us, taking care of our needs every time we've gone over. But again, property extends into the woods, all back there, all up the hill. But what you see that we've have mowed is primarily what we're going to use. Eventually these two containers will end up further back, and they're gonna be the supports for a garage with a apartment bit. Ignore that one, but an apartment at the top. It's gonna have its own septic system eventually back there. Septic, leach field, and we are gonna probably have a second well drilled in this corner for, again, water for the garage and the apartment, and for the garden that we're gonna set up on that side with the greenhouses. Hopefully will come next year. Chickens have all this room. They have their little palace. Has all this sunlight, sunshine. They do have shaded spots, but sometimes they just like to stay outside or inside. They do have a solar system that keeps their water warm in the wintertime. They do have a solar light, that's a smaller panel, which is inside. They have their run, so they have, again, what I've called a chicken palace, but they also have all the space. And anytime that we feel like they need more, we just knock the fence down, let them go out, graze, free range. But for the most part, this is what they get. I did have to trim it up when I was doing the grass because it got a little too high for them, and we do have some bantams. And once it gets over a foot of grass, it's kind of hard for them to get around. So we do have a lot of piles of large gravel stones, as you can see there. We are going to utilize that for decorative walls, things of that nature. But again, just trying to share some of that, some of the updates. I know we've shared sporadic videos, but we really haven't said much. First thing, little dead field mouse. Someone must have feed them or something. But as we climb up, another thing that's great about our property, and I'm sure a lot of people up here have this, we have a lot of wild raspberries, and I've been trying to, and wild strawberries. We've been trying, or at least I have been trying to make sure that as I'm mowing, if I see them, to mow around, trim around them, let them grow, because we've already eaten from them and they're super delicious. I'll share the shed in a minute. I mean the outdoor kitchen. But the reason why we clear this path is because my wife has these plants that love shade. Don't know the name of it. I know she calls them Lola. They are also in honor of her late grandmother. That was her name, Lola. But you know, we put them at the foot of this beautiful, beautiful, I'm gonna call it pine tree because I don't know if it's an aspen or whatnot. Not yet familiar with all the varieties, but we have a lot. And I've also been doing the same thing as I'm mowing around and I see young pine trees, I am letting them grow. So we have our part of our property extends into the woods, 11 or so acres. This is the back of the chicken palace. You can see the chickens are out there foraging and eating some grass. But let me zoom out here. From the trailers to here is where we're gonna have our containers moved and a shop built and an upstairs apartment. We do have a magnolia tree that we planted here quite a few years ago before we did everything else. It's been surviving, but before it gets any bigger, it's probably going to get relocated, because if we're going to do what we're planning to do, not if, when we do what we're planning to do, I don't want it to get trampled with the construction equipment and whatnot. But just think about it. Look at that view from here. And this is not where the house is going to eventually end up in. But even when the garage slash shop slash apartment is here, it's still going to have an amazing view. All right, moving on. Oh, there goes the hummingbirds. That's one thing. Around this time of year, we have so many hummingbirds here that it's just, what can I say, a bit of a blessing. Not a bit of a blessing, it'd be a blessing. There's so much wildlife here. We have wild turkeys. We have had so many deers come through. Moose, bear, foxes, rabbits, snow hares. I haven't seen any grouse yet. I know there are here. We've heard them. But if you know anything about grouse, they're hard to see. Haven't trimmed up too much up here, but our poor little park bench that we brought up, it's buried under a lot of tangleweed. If you know, you know. This willow is another thing that we've actually planted here ourselves. It's in honor of a dear friend that passed away a few years ago. So it's my way of just honoring that person. All right, enough digressing. Let's move over to the outdoor kitchen. And by the way, this was off a drawing that we gave them. It's not something these folks build, at least not for the purpose of what we're trying to do. They do sell screening, and I'm not promoting their stuff, but I like it. So I got a standard little bench that I made. It needs a little bit of love. So this is a sink that I made back where we came from. Brought it up here. It's got a little drainage. It's just going to be for washing dishes and whatnot. And until we get this under the ground, is fed from the well, which is over there. All right, welcome to the kitchen. All right, let's go inside the kitchen. Mind the mess. It's not all set up, finalized yet, but here's some of our carvings. Some of the handmade stuff that I've done with our laser. And let me pan out. Again, mind the mess. As I was saying, it's not complete yet. There's things we need to do still. But our stove, we have water. Obviously we have our well water, but we have water. Our mini fridge, and we have our plates, whatnot. Potatoes that we grew ourselves this year. Not the usual bounty that we normally get, but we're blessed with whatever we need. So this is our outdoor kitchen. Eventually we're gonna actually put a bunch of our herbs here, so whatever we need, we can come out and get it. We do have this setup here. We have some flowers. We have a couple of herbs mixed in there. The rest are just wildflowers. You want the bees in here, right? Our feeders. So we had to top off the hummingbird feeder. Our little hammock on the evenings is great. Again, the RV. And as I said earlier, on the other side of the wild daisies, it's our septic system. Septic tank, leach field all the way down there. And this is the connection for the septic. Obviously for our home, our temporary home, but where this sits, it's where we're going to build our house. The outdoor kitchen is more for obviously not cooking indoors when we don't want to. It's a lot cooler as far as temperature wise, but if we have friends and family over, once we have our picnic tables, whatnot, we can have here. I do have a lot of tiki torches, so make sure that we don't get devoured by bugs. We are not planning at this moment doing anything else with the rest of the property, which extends way under. You'll see later in the drone footage. But as I said, I am trying to go around wherever I mow to leave the currants, the raspberries, the pine trees, everything untouched as much as I can. Some of them are small, I don't see them. I had run over some of them and oops, but it happens. Yeah, your black-eyed Susans. And we have a lot of tarragon that survived our trip up here, so we have a lot of herbs that came up with us. So everything in these pots came up with us. We had a lot of herbs in there, tarragon, thyme, you name it, it's up here. Came with us. We do have quite a few different varieties of mint, which are going to eventually end up in the ground, and they can run wild all they want. Because, yeah, we have the space. this is eventually, once all these are in the ground, are going to be more herbs, but predominantly it's going to be more of basically flowers. We're trying to get a lot of domestic flowers. Some of them are popping up on their own. As you can see, we didn't plant these, but we do have blueberries here that we have to thin out a little bit. And we have other types of berries that are ground cover berries. It's hard to see because the tangle weeds are trying to eat them up, but they're surviving. Gotta redo their signs, but that is a huckleberry. There was a couple more here, but looks like they didn't survive. I have to replant them, but no big deal. We have our figs that survived the trip. Some of these trees did not, or at least they don't seem like it did, but we're gonna leave them till next year, just to make sure they don't come back. Then unfortunately we're gonna have to replant them. And the reason why I say that is because these are one of our trees that looked like it wasn't going to survive the nectarine, but it did. It sprouted. So we're gonna leave them, see what happens. But our espalier apple survived. Our other apple trees survived. These little ones that you see here are some that we started from seed. So there's a bunch of them. Apples, pears, peaches, you name it, it's probably here, except oranges. One of the things that was here, and we have a few of them sprouting all over, and I'm taking care not to run them over, are apples. So again, a lot of pine trees. We're trying to let them grow, especially there, because that's the road that divides our property from our neighbor's property. Good people. Our fig looks like it's rebounding, so keep it going. We have more fruit trees. These are cranberries. We have hazelnut over there at the end. And we have raspberries that, again, came with us from where we moved, that we thought were done. And all this that you see was put in before last year's frost. And they are coming back. Those are raspberries. Again, that's why we're gonna leave these, see what happens. They seem solid. The roots are there. It's one of our raspberries that we're not sure if it survived yet, but we have clippings from it that we planted, and they are sprouting here and here, as you can see. So we're trying to let everything get acclimated. I know it's its first year, full year where we are now, but we're trying to let it do what it needs to do. Now, strawberries that came with us are thriving. They're spreading. There were more strawberries here, but we ate them. So a lot of them are fighting this tangleweed, so we're hoping to get as much of it cleaned off. These were cleaned 2 weeks ago, but these suckers grow back quick, so we're trying to make sure they don't get choked out. And we're letting the berries come out and drop so they could propagate themselves. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Not much more to share right now. Probably the next time I do a homestead update with our RV is parked at, will be our home. So yeah, we're happy. We feel blessed. And as you can listen, what do you hear? Nothing. The wind is blowing. We do have a lot of birds that love all these berries. And a lot of these, I think they're called chokeberries or whatnot. As far as I know, they're edible at a certain stage. You just can't eat the pits. But we have apple trees everywhere. Let's see if I can zoom in into that one back there. Oh, went too far. Where are you? Probably if I put my glasses on, you can see them. But there's another apple tree back there. Again, I know you probably can't see it, but now you can see it. There's a gravel pit there. There's quite a few pits. The one in front, this one here, that one back there, and I believe somewhere before that corner where all those trees are at, there's one massive pit that if we ever wanted to make a house out of stone, we definitely have the material. But this is what we get to see every day. This is what we wake up to. This is what we are working so hard towards, building our home here. We've done a lot of, again, work. Obviously we didn't build or install the septic or the well or any of that stuff. We have that kind of equipment. The home would be done by now. But we have been blessed with the local contractors in the area. Even with their busy schedule, they have managed to fit us in. And they've done very short work of everything we've asked them to do for us. But again, yeah, I mean, what's not to love? Look at that skyline. Listen to the silence, the peace and quiet. And people probably that don't live this far north in anywhere in the country, within the US, probably think northern Maine is not a place that you can survive, because further north you go, the less people live. But there's a reason that it takes a special kind of person to come up here and make it. I was gonna run a well. I'm not gonna feel like wasting gas, but again, we're blessed. We have our outdoor kitchen, our little home. We have our chickens. We have a place to store our stuff. And we have been, once again, blessed by many people that we've met that have extended their help, have offered help, have done work for us. Yeah, so not complaining, very happy with what we have, and gonna be much more happier when we build our home. If you like this, kind of lengthy, it's probably one of the longest ones I put out there. Hit the subscribe button, hit that like, share, and if there's anything else you want to see or you want to know, just ask. All right, have a good one.